Hi, I'm Clayton. Thought maybe you might want to come along with me on this little project of mine. I'm going to build a set of Altec Model 19 speakers for my house. I already have the components. Got those from my new best friend in New York, Gary Wilter. So I have all the components ready to go. I have the plywood. I'm going to put a walnut veneer on them and build them, and I'm out here in this beautiful, beautiful shop of my very, very, very dear friend Dennis Moore, and I appreciate him allowing me to do this project here and use all of his tools and everything. I have been able to find some drawings on the internet, and also from my very, very, very good friend down near Austin, Monty K, and his brother Marshall. And then I found some more drawings on some forums, some old Altec forums. So I have some really good dimensions, some good drawings, some that are a little hard to read, but others that are very clear. This last one I got, I had it printed full size. It's going to help me a lot. So anyway, thought we'd just take you along on this journey and let you enjoy it along with us. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So the first thing I did was make this really nifty cut sheet with all my cuts on it so that I would know what to do when I get onto the table saw, and subtracted my inside measurements, 2 thicknesses of 3/4 inch plywood. When I was in school, that equaled 1.5 inches. So I thought before I start cutting, measure twice, cut once. I thought, I better just double check. So I got 2 thicknesses of the plywood, and I started checking, and guess what? It's not 1.5 inches because nowadays they cheat on the plywood. So this measures 1 inch and 51/128ths of an inch, right? But really, like, I'm gonna work with 128ths of an inch? No. So I had to do some conversion and some math and all of that, and I came up with it actually equals about 1 inch and 3/8 in common man's terms. So I subtract 1 inch and 3/8 from my side measurements for my interior cuts, so that I had to redo all the math on my cut sheet, but I did. And so with that, I think I'm ready to start committing to some cuts on the plywood. So I set my saw up to do all of my 19-inch cuts first. Got all the 19-inch pieces cut. Then I'll turn them sideways, do the cross cuts on them, get all my plywood cut that way. Before I did that, I tuned up the saw, adjusted the blade, put a new blade on it, siliconed the table and the fence really good. Just glides right through like butter. Welcome back. Here we are with another day of Altec Model 19 cabinet building. This is my project, labor of love, if you will. I am an old Altec fan, have been pretty much all my life since junior high. I got my first set of Altecs when I was in junior high, and so now my dream is to build a set of Model 19s. Already have all the components and everything. Just got to build the boxes. So, as you saw in previous clips, we got all the plywood cut now. And what I did, I labeled everything, just took some masking tape and a Sharpie, labeled all the pieces because I didn't want to get confused and pick up the wrong piece and try to glue it in somewhere. So today I'm starting with the second high frequency box. If you're familiar with the Model 19, you know they're 2 separate boxes joined together by a little 2-inch separator. So you have the high frequency or the horn box on top, the low frequency or the woofer on the bottom. So I've already assembled, as you can see in the background, one of the horn boxes, one of the high frequency boxes. I didn't show you that because that was my first one and I didn't want you to see all my mistakes. So now I'm an expert at it. I'll let you watch the process of me putting this one together. And what I do, taking the inside and putting a bunch of pocket holes for pocket screws here, and then assembling the top to that, running the pocket screws in there. One of the things I realized when I started on the first box, with the Craig jigs, you get a bit that's about that long. Well, this box is only 9.5 inches on the inside. It wouldn't fit. I was disheartened. So I couldn't figure out what in the world to do. So I rummaged around here in my friend's shop till I found a short bit. I was able to fit my drill in there with the short bit, but I did have a problem with every time I would tighten the screws up, the joint would move and misalign. So I thought, well, I didn't want to use nails in it with a nail gun, but at least that would hold it together. And it doesn't really matter because I'm going to put veneer on the outside of the box. That's why I'm able to do square butt joints and not have to worry about the getting a perfect miter. So I went ahead and shot it first and then screwed it. That seemed to help a little bit. One time I had to put a clamp on one of those. But with the wet glue and everything, and the screws put so much pressure on it, and they're on an angle, it tends to move just a little bit. So hope and I think I solved that problem by nailing everything together first. So with that, let's get right to it, and we'll put some boxes together. Okay, I'm all set up here to start drilling my pocket holes for the pocket screws. I've got my Craig jig, kind of the standard that everybody uses, I guess. One thing I did notice, I went to get some different size bits because, like I said earlier, inside the box I couldn't fit my drill. And so when I got there, they had square 1 and square 2. Well, being a novice, I didn't know which it was. So what do? Like I always do, I bought both of them. So I got back here and tried them out, and come to find out it's the square 2 that fits the Craig screws quite nicely. So if you're going out to buy some extra bits, make sure you get the square 2 if you're using the Craig screws. So what I have done, I have laid out on the inside of my sides, this will be the sides for the box, I have laid out where I want my pocket screws. Not that it's critical, but just for uniformity's sake, and I want them evenly spaced and all that. So I went ahead and measured them out and marked them on the board. And next I'm gonna put them in the jig and start drilling. So let's get started. Okay, I got a lot of drilling to do here. I turned my fan back on because it's hot here in Fort Worth this time of year. I got the vacuum going so I don't have to clean up so much sawdust. And of course I got my gospel music going. So you're just gonna have to listen to the noise while you watch me drill. How exciting, huh?
There was a group there, Randy, Lynn, and Cornerstone. And I walked into that concert this night. Randy was contemporary before contemporary was cool.
Well, I've got both of the high frequency boxes put together now. Hope I have enough confidence to start the big boxes now. So I've got my pocket holes all laid out again. They're gonna go together something like this and like this. So this will be the low frequency box with the top on it there. That's how big they're gonna be. So I guess it's time to start drilling again. Stand by for the noise. I told you it was going to be noisy. Here we go.